back here. She's been sitting out in the sun all winter. Well, it's still winter, like the 1st of February. She's going in the shop. Last of its 327 life. I'm going to pull the 327 out, rebuild it, put it in my shop, let it sit for, I'll pull out and set it. Let it just sit there until it's until I decide whether or not I like the 454 or not. If I don't like the 454, it's going back, the 327, it's going back in it. And I like the 327, it's freaking sweet little motor. So, there's my new radiator for it. Speakers that are going to go behind the seat when I get the tank built and put underneath it. There she is, little 327 running in her. She's going to be coming out here shortly. We'll be stuffing a 454 in it. Kind of sad to see the little 327 come out because she's been such a good little motor. But if I don't like the 454, I'll rebuild it and put that 327 back in. I kind of got a feeling it's going to be back in there eventually. We'll pull it in the shop. I'm going to have to get it buffed and waxed. It's never been buffed or waxed yet. We'll take her down to Moab in a couple months. So that'll be cool. I started to clean out this bay because I was thinking I'd pull my hot rod in and pull the motor out of it so I can start prepping that 454 to go in it. Then I thought, I ought to get rid of all these piles of electrical cable and run it through my shop because I need to run it up in the roof and rafters to make it so I got more plug-ins all the way around. But so I can get all my electrical finished up. I'm going to put my welding bay over on this. My welders are all scattered throughout the shop. I'm going to build a spot right behind where the press is. Put a bunch of electrical right there. Put about 5 plugs for my welders and plasma cutter and all that kind of stuff. Get that done. Because if I do that, then I will not have to have cable in there no more. I can throw all the rest of it out back and with all the rest of my piles of cable, and I'll be doing way better. So maybe I'll do that. Alright, I got my old hot rod in the shop today. I am going to start prepping to pull my motor out. I'm going to get this little 327 pulled out and get it out and put it in my shop. Let it sit here. I want to eventually, I'm going to rebuild the motor, but I want to try this 454 out first. See how it's going to be. This old truck in a year's time has came a long ways. I freaking painted it last August. In the video it looks way pinker than it really is. It's really a pretty dark red. But then it might just be the lights in here that make it not so red. But I got that radiator for it. Hopefully it works out good. Got that radiator for it. It should be pretty much a factory replacement. Fit right in the same hole. It's a 3-core or 4-core, I don't know, I can't remember. It's a big radiator, so it should be really good for cooling this old sweetheart. But we'll get this motor pulled out. Kind of hurts my heart a little bit to pull it out. This motor's been in this truck since we got it, like 20 years ago. Still runs pretty good. It's just got a lot of blow by and pretty wore out. and that leaks oil out of everywhere, so I got to pull it out and rebuild it anyways. So that's what I'm gonna do. We'll get her out of there. Alright, I got it up on the lift. I've been looking at the bottom side of her back here in the back, kind of trying to, later on I want to put 2 fuel tanks up underneath it, so I kind of been looking and measuring to see where I could get 2 fuel tanks and how big of a fuel tank. I'd like to put one back here and then one right in front of the axle up into there somewhere, put another one. That way I got 2 fuel tanks, and maybe then I'll be able to get some range out of it. But I don't know. Alright, my boy just come out. We got the hood pulled off my hot rod. Put it in the bed of the truck. I marked it so that when I put it back on, I'll be able to put it back in the same spot. Set it in the back real nice and gentle. This paint job's not its permanent paint job. This was just something I threw on it real quick, just to get it so it actually looked, presentable and half decent. Mainly because my kid has a Camaro and it's red and black, red with black racing stripes, so I thought I'll paint her just to match it, just for fun. So that's what I did. But oh dear, here we go. I'm gonna start taking out all the rest of the stuff for this. It's actually pretty freaking cold today. It's snowing, wind blowing. This morning when I woke up, it was like 16 degrees or 6 degrees, I can't remember, outside. I came out to the shop and it was 20 in here. Now it's 50. It was a lot warmer earlier. It's really cooled off quite a bit. I've got a fire going in here all day. Had the diesel heater running for a while. I'll lift the truck up, turn the diesel heater back on, let it blow underneath it. Try to warm it up a little bit. It does get cold here, that's for sure. Alright, I got the radiator pulled out. It had a hole in it anyways, up towards the top, just down a little bit. It had a little weeper in it, so if I just drove like a human, it did good, it didn't leak. But if I got on there and got pushing it hard, it would start weeping out of that hole a little bit. But I got it out of there. I'll get the fan out, the alternator out, carburetor off, get the top part of this pulled apart, and then I'll lift it back up and start pulling the bottom bolts out. Try to get this little sweetheart pulled out of here. Yep. This was something I did not realize the truck had, was one of them spacers to take it from the holes being the same from a spread board. But I'm getting closer. Got both headers unbolted. I'll have to pull spark plugs on that side. I'll have to pull the oil dipstick tube on that side, or cut the bolts off through the headers, pull the headers down out. Either way, it's easy to get underneath it because I can just pick it up with my lift and get them out. So tomorrow when I come out, it's getting pretty late tonight. It's dark, the wind's blowing. It's way freaking ass cold. But tomorrow when I come out, I should just have to pull the bell housing bolts, get my engine crane in here, engine hoist, cherry picker, whatever you want to call it. Get it in here and snag this thing, pull it up and out. It'll sure be nice to have it out. Then I can see, get a better look at what's leaking in it and all that kind of stuff. Kind of sad to pull out the little motor. Sure has been a good little unit. Alright, I got the starter out. Marked all of its cabling on there. Took a few pictures of it so I could remember what wires was where. And then I took that header out, obviously. Got that header out. And I'm going to work on getting this header out. I get this header out, and then I can, I think the only thing left I got to do is pull bell housing bolts. And then I'm pretty sure this whole motor is ready to come out. That'll be nice. Put one header over there, mark the starter for the 327. So I don't forget what it went in later on, because it might be a while before I ever do anything with it again. Alright, I got this header off. Got it over there in a pile also. So, all I got left is 2 motor mount bolts, bell housing bolts, and this little sweetheart's coming out. It's a Sunday evening. It's gotten pretty late on me. It's way dark. It's been dark for a long time outside. So, I think I will go in and take a shower and get ready to go to bed. I gotta wake up to go to work in the morning. I'm on day shift this next week. So, but the little hot rod's getting closer and closer to being repowered. Can't wait to see how she does. Makes me wonder what the stance is going to be, if it's going to lower this front end more. With that 454, I think it weighs quite a bit more than that 327. So, I think it'll weigh the front end down. This truck's kind of always looked kind of like a little bit like a gasser, because the front end sets a little bit high. And I've liked it, it don't bother me. But, we'll see what happens. Alright, it's a Friday evening, and I'm draining the oil out of this. I'm going to get the oil drained out of it, try to get a motor mount bolt or 2 pulled, and try to get bell housing bolts. I'd like to get it to where I can come out in the morning, light my heater, build a fire in here, and then get this 327 pulled out this morning, in the morning, get it pulled out, set on the floor, and then get my 454 off of the stand, get it prepped to go in, see how it does. Hopefully this works out pretty well. Alright, I got that motor mount bolt out, and the bottom one up through that one out. Put a strap underneath the tranny so that it'll hold it up. And then I got all the bell housing bolts out on both sides, so it's ready to be lifted up and out. I'm gonna see if I can get my kid to come out from in the house, help me out, and drag my cherry picker engine crane thing in here, get it in front of the truck in here, and then in the morning I can just lift her up out. Nice, easy, careful, gentle. Alright, it's like 7 a.m. 7:15, something like that. I come out, started the heater, build a fire in the fireplace. Gonna try to warm it up. Last night in the dark I drug this back inside the shop. So I got my engine cherry picker, engine hoist, whatever you want to call this thing, back in here. I'm gonna let that run until the shop gets fairly warm, probably like 45 minutes, an hour, and then I will come out and pull the motor out of this, and then that 454, set it on something, go wash it good, move all these out of the shop, and commence pulling the motor out. I've got to weld out one broken off bolt out of the motor, out of that 454, and then I'll have it done, out of the exhaust. Alright, the motor's out. My kid come out and helped me this morning, and we pulled her out. Did not film any of it at all. Come out really quick and easy. Just had all the bolts out. There's the little motor right there. My kid ran the number off the back of the motor. It says it's a 64 to 67 327. The casting number said it was a thick cast block or whatever for, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it said. But I'm definitely going to rebuild it, put it in. Got the 454 off of the engine stand, put it on the crane. I hauled it outside. I got it out right there. I'm going to pressure wash it, degrease it. We pulled the motor mounts off of it, prepped some stuff for it, finish washing it, and then I'll get her put in. Got it taped up so I can pressure wash it off good. So I'm hoping I can get it set back in tonight.